Hello, and welcome into the Shoujo-Verse. I'm your host today, Bees, and I'm here with absolutely no one else. It's just me, as I also don't talk about shoujo manga. I'm going to be talking about a shounen movie, Demon Slayer Mugen Train. It just came out this weekend, and as a fan of both the anime and the manga, I went to go see it. I'm lucky because they were actually showing it in my city, which I know anime movies aren't very common in the United States, so I was lucky with that, and also I'm fully vaccinated, so I felt pretty safe going out. I did wear a mask the whole time, of course, and I social distanced from all the other viewers. Not like I wouldn't do that in the first place, because I went alone. Anyways, this review, I will be talking. The first part will be no spoilers, just my general thoughts on the movie. The second part will include spoilers, but I will make sure to give you a warning before we get there, just in case you want to see this. I have only seen it once, and I didn't take notes because I'm not going to do that in a movie theater. I'll go to see a movie alone, but I'm not going to go alone and take notes. I think that's a little too much for me. I have read the entire manga, so I knew what was going to happen going into the movie, but I did not reread the manga beforehand, and also, I'm not someone who reading a manga will ruin an anime for me, unless the anime is really bad. But for the most part, I can, separate the two in my head. You know, I was thinking about this before I went to the movie. We've been in COVID, for the past over a year now, so it's been a long time since anyone's gone to a movie. But I don't go to movies very often, so I think the last one I went to was actually Endgame. It's been a while, and it was nice to be back. There were a lot more people than I expected. It wasn't super crowded, but it was like, I walked in there, I was like, COVID. I see a lot of people. I'm like, why are you all here? The movie theater was undersold, though. Definitely could have been more people, but I'm glad there wasn't. I'm glad they undersold it. I didn't have to sit near anyone, and that's what I wanted. Also, not gonna dock points on this for the movie, but my theater definitely had the volume up way too high. The whole time I was like, can you guys turn it down 2 or 3 notches? It was just a little too loud. So after watching 7 subpar movie trailers, we get to the movie. So for my no spoiler review, I'm gonna say, if you like Demon Slayer, the TV show, you'll like Demon Slayer, the movie. I know this is unheard of what I'm coming up with, but it is almost the exact same standards as the anime, except a little better. I'll admit it. The animation was amazing, as usual. The fight scenes were, I would say, one step above anime quality. Of course, they had that movie budget to rely on, so that was really great. There was a lot of CGI, more than the anime, but it wasn't bad. Not completely immersion breaking, but also did not completely blend it. But yeah, it did not ruin the animation for me. There was one part where I relied on it a lot more than others, but not bad. The music, notably amazing. I'm not sure if that's because I was in a movie theater with the nice surround sound speakers, but the music was amazing. You had the normal, the usual Demon Slayer track with the chanting, singing sort of sounds, but there was also electronic in there, and it was just really good. Story-wise, it was good. Movie was definitely the best way to deliver this arc. If it had been in an anime season, it would have been probably about 6 episodes, and it definitely would have lost some emotional impact. Movie was the way to go, and I'm glad they did it. So my overall rating for the movie is about 8.5 out of 10. Not perfect. Also not bad. It was good. If you haven't watched the anime, I would not recommend going to see the movie. It does not explain anything at all. You will be lost. But I'm guessing if you're wanting to watch a movie, you have watched the anime, you're going to be happy with it. So if it's playing close to you and you're vaccinated and you feel safe going out, then I would recommend you go see it. Otherwise, it is not something you have to rush out the door and go watch immediately. You can wait until you can stream it. It's not a life-changing movie. I will say it loses points. In the main villain, it's hard to explain without spoiling it, but the main villain felt a little... It didn't quite hit the mark for me. So, was it worth $12.50 plus fees? I would say so. Yeah, I would say so. Final thoughts in the non-spoil section. Rengoku, my beloved, my boy, I love you. I love you. So yeah, that's it for the non-spoiler review. Sorry, it's pretty short. It's hard to talk about a movie without mentioning any of the story points. So if you want to watch the movie, if you're interested in it, or you want to watch the show, you don't want to know what happens, click away now, close it, close the podcast, exit out, leave, goodbye. We will see you next time. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram and all of those. We will have new podcasts coming out every Monday about actually shoujo. I promise. And with other people. Bye-bye. Unless you want to stay for the spoilers, then... Okay, I'm going to assume that if you don't want to be spoiled, you have left. Let's go ahead and go back to the beginning of the movie. I was wondering how they were going to open the movie. You know, jumping in from an anime season to a movie. How would they handle that transition? Jarringly, but you know, what else can you do? It opens with the head of the Demon Slayer Corps. His name is Kageya Ubuyashiki. In case you have forgotten or didn't know, I had to look it up, honestly. And he is going over the names of different dead Demon Slayer students. Like I said, I didn't take notes, so he was talking a bit about the strength of the will of the strength of human willpower, and all that. And this whole opening scene basically summarizes the whole movie. The human will is so strong. Also, dead student. I wrote down in my notes, the will of Rengoku is so strong, but it was not enough, and he dies. And then we skip back to the train, where we have the three hooligans right where they left off at the end of the season. They are being hooligans and running to get off the train, and you get a brief introduction with Tanjiro kind of freaking out, Inosuke wanting to fight the train, and then Zenitsu being a whiny baby. Then we are introduced to Rengoku. Delicious! Umai! I love him. Just umai, umai. His introduction is a little weird, but he is a little weird. All the Demon Slayers are a little weird. So it starts with them talking and everything. And in general, the whole start of the train, I think you're supposed to get this feeling of unease with the flickering lights, with the weird conductor dude, you know, punching the tickets. The sense of unease didn't quite hit right with me. I'm not sure if it's because I've been playing too many horror games, so I'm like tuned into the horror, but I don't know, didn't feel quite horrifying enough to me. Like, they could have definitely done more to like give a little bit more of a sense of dread. The next thing that happens is we get a taste of Rengoku's capabilities as they fight two minor demons. I think those those little guys were put there by the big guy to try to throw off the demon slayers. So they're like, oh, we killed two demons. Clearly this train is safe now. And then they fall asleep, and we're introduced to the main demon, the villain, Lower One, Enmu. Boy howdy, do they like to talk. Just straight up explains all the powers. Like, we put people to sleep, and then we tie the ropes around people to get into their dreams, and we are just evil by dreams, and we're also being careful because we want to get stronger, and we can't die to demon slayers if we want to fight the other demons to get stronger, to get more blood. Boy howdy, they like to talk. I'm not. I think that was my biggest gripe with this villain, is they just like to monologue. I think it would have been better to just show the capabilities of the demon and then explain it, instead of explaining it and then showing. It's just better practice, I feel, for the reader or watcher to try to predict what it is and then clarify rather than explain and then we see. So that goes into the villain's main way to mess people up, the dreams. And each of the 4 main characters, we have Tanjiro and Zenitsu and Inosuke and Rengoku, they all have very distinct dreams, kind of. The main one, of course, is our main character, Tanjiro, and this one hurts. Because he, in his dream, finds his family alive and well, and they're like, wow, you sold all that charcoal, look at you go, and he's like, wow, was all the demon slaying stuff a dream? It wasn't. And just the whole family interaction was something we were missing most of season 1. We only saw it in episode 1. The rest of the time we were just reminded that, hey, demons killed your whole family, by the way. And now we get to see more of it. And you're like, oh yeah, I kind of forgot about you guys. But Tanjiro definitely didn't. That was a huge part of his life. But while he's dreaming, the demon isn't, able to completely block out things from his subconscious. You see Nezuko's box, when he lifts the basket of logs on his back, he goes like, okay, Nezuko, let's go. And he's like, wait, why did I say that? That doesn't make sense. Dreams are powerful, but so is the mind. You can't completely block out an unconscious. I think the most notable part about Tanjiro's dream was when Nezuko showed up, because the whole time we're watching this, we're like, I know you're in a dream. You need to wake up, even though your whole family is there and it's very happy for you. You need to wake up. But the moment for me, at least, was when Nezuko showed up and we see her, we hear her, without her muzzle, with her hair all normal, and you're reminded, oh, she was human. That really got me. You see Tanjiro freeze, and my heart kind of skipped a beat. I was like, you're right, she was human. Oh, for some reason, just seeing her human was so much more powerful than seeing his whole family alive. And that almost got him. And also in that scene when Tanjiro was running away and trying to find a way to wake up, it kind of reminded me of the Greek myth of Orpheus, and how when he's leaving the underworld with Eurydice, he's not supposed to look behind him. Of course, in the myth, Orpheus does look behind him and he loses his wife, but Tanjiro doesn't look behind him. He knows if he does, he will not be able to withstand the draw of the dream. So he has to just keep going. And you can tell it hurts. And it hurt me too, in my heart. My heart. Moving on to next dream, Zenitsu. This one, the whole theater did chuckle a little bit. He's an idiot. It was him and Nezuko, and they were just running along together, just happy. Inosuke's dream, he's also an idiot. And I think I have a little bit of a bone to pick. I know Zenitsu and Inosuke are mostly just comedic relief side characters who are both strong in their own right. And I know they have backstories. I would have really loved to see more of their backstories in their dreams, even if it was just like a little taste. But you don't, and that's kind of disappointing. Rengoku's dream was not happy, actually. The poor guy just wanted to make his dad proud. I feel bad for him. He achieved something very difficult, something he should be proud of. And his dad just said, it's not worth it. You're wasting your time. None of anything you're doing is worth it. None of anything I did is worth it. You can kind of see how being a demon slayer can really beat someone down, because the demons just keep coming back. I think one of my favorite parts about Rengoku's dream is when there was the girl who was creeping around trying to find the spiritual core, and she almost got it, and he just grabbed her in his sleep. All of the demon slayers have some sort of protection in their unconscious. Rengoku is literally he didn't have unconscious sort of protector. It was him physically grabbing this girl and choking her, which I thought was pretty dope. Inosuke had the version of himself with like a working boarhead. Pretty fitting. And how his unconscious was all a cave. We don't get any explanation for why that is. I think it's mostly him just relating to animals and having this like animalistic side to himself that probably feels more comfortable in cave systems. Zenitsu is unconscious. First of all, the space is entirely black, and I'm pretty sure that has something to do with the way he fights with his eyes closed. Or eyes closed, him not fully conscious. I think that's what it is. But his protector is also a version of himself that's like really weird. You may be able to pick up, but Zenitsu is not my favorite character. I don't really like him. I get him. I don't really enjoy him though. And Rengoku's unconscious was just entirely fire, and his spiritual core is burning. He literally embodies the flame. All Hashira literally embody their aspects in some sort of way. Rengoku is burning with passion and pride and love. That embodies him inside and out. On the other hand, Tanjiro's unconscious is calm and beautiful. He is gentle. And all his protectors in his unconscious are friendly. And they take the enemy to where he wants to go. Because that's just Tanjiro's nature. The core of his spirit is literally the sun. And that's another thing we've gotten beaten into our heads through the entire anime. And now this movie is that Tanjiro is good. That's him. Sum him up. He is a good person. I will say, I think my least favorite part of the entire dream sequence is just, there was this imagery of everyone being in water, and I understand why it was there. They're drowning in their dreams, but I did feel like it didn't really fit the rest of the imagery. I'm not sure about that one, fam. But after we go through everyone's dreams a little bit, after we get to the cores and everything, everyone does eventually wake up, and it's time to fight now. The first one to wake up is Tanjiro, because Nezuko wakes up, actually, and burns the rope. So Tanjiro gets up, tells her to burn the rest of the rope, and then goes to face the demon. We get more exposition. More spoken exposition. The dude just likes to talk. And then you see Tanjiro seemingly kill this demon. That happened, and I thought to myself, that was too easy, and then Tanjiro said, that was too easy, and he's like, psych, I'm actually the whole train. What? So, we get this, like, oh, how is he gonna do that? We got 200 passengers on board. How are we gonna fight a whole train without killing anyone? That's a bit to chew off. Good thing we have 4 Demon Slayers here. I want to say, the tone of the whole movie changed when Zenitsu woke up, believe it or not. Because that is when the music hit. That is when the music turned up a notch. We got electronic up in here, and we're like, yo, we are rocking and rolling. The music was unexpected in the best way. And then, when Rengoku woke up, that's when we got a little taste before with the 2 demons. And now we got oh, this dude can fight. It was good. It was another tease, though, because most of the fighting we saw was between Inosuke, Tanjiro, and the demon, Enmu. And it was good. It was choreographed really well. The animation was, of course, beautiful. But it was just a lot of fighting for a while. Not much story happened while they were fighting. I will say, for Tanjiro to continuously kill himself to wake up from his dreams over and over, that's pretty intense, and he probably needs to go to therapy. I think one of my favorite parts, though, of that whole sequence was when one of the times he was put to sleep in the dream, his family, now that I'm saying this, I don't remember exactly where in the movie it was, no, this was before the train was taken over. So we're going to rewind a little bit, but one of my favorite parts was when he was put to sleep. And in the dream, it wasn't a good dream. His whole family was yelling at him. Like, why are you the one that survived? Why didn't you do anything to save us? Why were you gone? Why are you alive? The tone there, with the red lighting and all the blood, that was good. That was the atmosphere that was missing before, I feel. Rolling forward again, Huge, big fight, working together. The demon is dead. The train slides off the tracks. It dies. A horrible, painful death. And everyone's like, yay! And everyone survived. Not a single person died. Tanjiro was stabbed. Again, we are shown that we're just shown he is such a good person. He doesn't want to die because that would make this passenger, or the conductor, I guess, that would make him a murderer. So I can't die. Also, the moment when Rengoku appeared upside down from the top of the screen, loved him. Can you tell I love Rengoku? He's just so good. He really, in this short amount of time, takes Tanjiro under his wing and tries. They don't have much time together, but he wants to make it better. He wants him to be better. But they don't have much time to relax because, surprise, there's another demon. And this one is worse. It's an upper demon. Earlier in the movie, when Enmu was doing one of his monologues, we were shown outlines or vague silhouettes of the upper demons, the upper 6. And we get to see one of them, Akaza, who is a beefy and tattooed. And it starts, when he appears, it is an open discussion between the demon and the demon slayer. Akaza's like, yo, I can tell you're strong. Why don't you become a demon, you know? Become even stronger. You can be like such a good demon. And then this allows Rengoku to go on a rant about how much he loves humanity and how beautiful it is. And this is where you can see more of his fiery passion for life. And then they fight. When it gets to this part, you're like, oh, that train fight was just warm up. This is a fight. The music, I have in my notes here, the music is bonkers good. So take that for what you will. And the fight is hard. You get to see some of the demon's abilities, and this is like a level above. You can see the difference. He said, I'm being careful because I don't want to die to these demon slayers. I just want to get all these humans to become stronger, to challenge one of the uppers so I can get more blood from head demon guy, whose name I can't remember right now. Anyways, the main villain of the whole series. But now you can see the difference between a lower demon and an upper. Like in the anime too, every demon they fought was increasing in strength. And this one is like an exponential increase. You can tell how much stronger because Rengoku, we were shown just how strong he is, just how fast he is. This is not. This might have been evenly matched if he hadn't, fucked around fighting the whole train the whole time. It's not. He is struggling the whole time. And, watching this, you're like, oh no. How's he gonna do it? And in the end, he doesn't. He isn't strong enough. And it's bitter when you realize he's standing there hurt. And, the demon is monologuing and talking, and he's allowing Rengoku to catch his breath. And then he puts 100% of himself in. He goes into this last attack knowing that he will die no matter what happens. He is not going to have enough strength to live after this. But he just wants to take the demon down with him. And in the end, he doesn't. And that is so heartbreaking. You get to really see the strength of demons here. And it hurts. I would also just like to say the demons would have a way better chance if they would shut up and not monologue. Because that is what allowed Rengoku to catch his breath, to almost kill him. Got probably like a third of the way through the neck. Anyways, in the end, it's bitter defeat. The demon is able to get away. Though he is injured, he has to run away from the sun. Tanjiro throws his sword, loses another sword, and Rengoku he dies. As he's dying, he remembers the task his mother gave him to protect humanity. He is strong, so he can protect the weak, and that you can see as the core of his character. That is why he wants to help Tanjiro become stronger. That's why he wants to help the people. That is why he is a demon slayer. While he's dying, he asks Tanjiro to go see his family. 1, to get notes from the previous Fire Hashira, and 2, so he could give a message to his brother. And then, right before he dies, he sees his mother. And that right there, that got 2 tears out of me. 2 tears running into my mask. And then she tells him she's proud of him. And that is what he needed to hear. And his smile, oh my god. That hurt. That one hurt me. It was so pure. I don't think I've ever wanted to see someone smile so much. And he died with a smile on his face, because that's all he's ever wanted to hear, was that someone is proud of him. Because when he told his dad did not care. He was actually the opposite of proud of him. And that just broke my heart. But at least in the end, he knew someone was proud of him. Gotta say, at the end here, I was really annoyed by the amount of Tanjiro yelling and crying. It just went on too long, in my opinion. It gets annoying that, the typical shounen yelling is just a lot. Normally in fight scenes it's not bad, but like when it's quiet and they're yelling out of the passion of their hearts or whatever, it just went on too long. That's all I'm gonna say. And that's how the movie ends. You see the crow giving everyone a word that one of the Hashira have died. And you can see everyone's reactions to it. The reactions are all fitting. So yeah, that is how the movie ends. 1 demon down, 1 demon slayer down. And 1 sword lost. I guess technically 2. So yeah, the movie was good, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. 8.5 out of 10, like I said. Lost points for monologue-y villain. I just think they could have done more. You were shown a little bit how evil this villain could be by Enmu saying, I show them the good dreams and then I show them the terrifying ones, and then I love to see the look on their face when they wake up from those horrifying dreams. I would have just rather, I don't know. I think it would have been better to just show more. I think I've been playing too many horror games recently because I'm just like, it's not scary enough for me. I would like a little more fear, please. Maybe I'm too harsh with it. It's not a perfect movie by any means, purely by the fact that we're given no explanation, and you have to watch the movie, or you have to watch the TV series beforehand. And also the fact that this movie will be necessary to fully understand the next season of the anime. You're not going to be able to get it without it. So I hope they are quick in releasing it digitally. That's all I'm going to say. Because I think the next Demon Slayer season comes out later this year. Yeah, they're going to have to get on it. One thing I would like to address is, if you watch the movie, you were probably thinking, oh, shit, Rengoku probably would have killed the dude if Tanjiro and Inosuke hadn't intervened. I don't necessarily think that's true. It's really easy to blame the two of them for Rengoku's death, but if the demon could just tear off his arms and run away, I think he would have ended up doing that in the end anyways. So I think that mostly wraps up my thoughts. Good movie, enjoyable. I can't wait for the next season of the anime. Honestly, this next arc will be good. Anyways, thanks for sticking with me and listening to my review. I hope it wasn't too rambly. This is the first time I've done one of these things. Let me know any feedback you have. And let us know if you want more solo reviews or duo reviews or whatever. We'll be happy to provide. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter and all of those things that I plugged earlier. Yeah, tune in next time for when there are more people and we're actually talking about shoujo instead of shounen. Thank you for listening, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye!